God, what if I stop being 6ix9ine? How am I gonna fend for my family?
Are you happy that I heard this quote one time from this guy, George Mueller. He's a famous Christian from a couple hundred years ago. He said, if you're not content with the amount of money you have in your bank account, you would never be content with double the amount of money in your bank account. And it's interesting that there's a story in Luke chapter 16 where Jesus talks to this man, a rich young ruler. And he goes, hey Jesus, what do I need to do to enter the kingdom of heaven? Kind of cocky. And Jesus says, well, love the Lord your God with your whole heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And he's like, well, I already do that. And Jesus says, okay, well, sell everything you have and follow me. And it says that the rich man got sad. And this is where we hear the analogy for it's easier for a rich man, easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. And the man got sad. Now, it doesn't say it's impossible, okay? And he saw the man got sad. And he says, what seems impossible for man is possible with God. That's what he says. So think about this. There is no such thing as scarcity in the kingdom of God. Now, that doesn't mean when you're becoming a Christian that you're going to be some rich millionaire, billionaire. God trusts people with money. For example, I had a coworker I used to work with years ago who didn't believe in Jesus, but he said, well, if God gives me money when I pray, then I'll believe in him. And he never got money. But he was a bad steward with money. No, what? He couldn't be trusted with money. Why would God give him money if it would just crush him? You know what I mean? And he said, oh, God's not real because he's not giving me money. Whereas I know people who are very wealthy people who steward it well and give back and they love Jesus. The point I'm making is if we really do follow Jesus, he himself says, if God feeds the birds of the air and gives beauty to the lilies of the field, and they're not even made in his image, how much more will God take care of you because you're valuable and made in his image? And I think every day, whether you're 80 years old, 20 years old, 29, whatever you may be, I think the hardest lesson is to trust God. I think, you know, this Jesus thing, it's beautiful because it's more than just a feeling, you know, it's like that Jesus is closer than our skin. That's crazy to me. Like he can be in us, he can lead us, and he loves us, and he doesn't just want to like shower us in the feeling of love. He wants to transform us with his love. You know, it's like I don't clean myself up before I go to the shower. I get clean in the shower. I got to bring my junk and be honest with him. And because of that, his radical love for me, think about that. God knowing every nasty thing Danny has done.
Everything.
And he lavishes his love on you and says, let my love be poured out for you. Because that's what the cross was. That's what his death and resurrection was mad love, because he knew that was the only way we could be with Jesus in heaven, was if he died. That's the most radical love, explanation of love. You know, people think love is sex, the feeling you get when you smoke, do drugs, you get the booze.
Unconditional love.